Welcome back to the Melody Podcast. I'm your host, James Shelton, and today we're unlocking one of the biggest mysteries in hip-hop, Dr. Dre's secret vault. Now, when we talk about hip-hop's greatest minds, the name Dr. Dre sits at the top of the list. Not just for what he's done, but for what he hasn't done, what he's kept locked away. For decades, we've heard whispers of mythical albums, unfinished collaborations, and next-level beats that never saw the light of day. Tracks recorded with Eminem, Snoop Dogg, Nas, Kendrick Lamar, even entire albums that got scraped. But why? Why does Dr. Dre, one of the most influential producers in hip-hop history, have hundreds, maybe even thousands of unreleased songs sitting in a vault? Today we're diving into the mystery from Detox, the most anticipated album that never dropped, to hidden sessions with hip-hop's elite, and even tracks that leaked but disappeared just as fast. We're cracking open Dr. Dre's secret vaults. Here we go.
Hey, there is the melody where the music's always bright. From history to theory, will keep your spirits light. Tune in for the stories, the rhythms and the groove. Join us on this journey, there's always more to prove. The melody, where every note's a thrill. The melody. Welcome to the Melody Podcast with your favorite host, James Shelton.
Before we can even get into the vault, we have to understand one thing about Dr. Dre. He is a perfectionist to the highest level. This man once said in an interview, "If it's not a classic, I'm not putting it out." That mindset has been the driving force behind his career, but also the reason why so much of his music never sees the light of day. Let me break this down. The 2-year mix. There's a story about Dre spending 2 whole years mixing just one song. He'll tweak drum kicks after bass lines, adjust hi-hats, all just to get that perfect sound. To him, it's not just music, it's science. The beat graveyard. So Dre reportedly makes beats daily, but only 1 out of 50 gets used. That means thousands of beats exist just sitting there untouched and scraping full albums. This man will spend years crafting an album only to say, nah, it's not good enough, and start over. That's why Detox never dropped, because Dre felt it wasn't perfect. But that raises the big question, what happens to all that music? Well, let's start with the biggest mystery of them all, Detox. The album was first announced in 2002. Yeah, you heard that right, over 20 years ago. It was supposed to be Dre's final masterpiece, the album to end all albums, the last chapter in the trilogy that started The Chronic in 1992 and the album 2001, released in 1999. The features were insane. You had Eminem, 50 Cent, Nas, Jay-Z, Busta Rhymes, T.I., Lil Wayne, Snoop Dogg, Kendrick Lamar, even rumored collaborations with Andre 3000 and Ice Cube. That's an all-star lineup, so why didn't it drop? Well, there are a few reasons. The expectations were too high. Dre knew that Detox couldn't just be a good album, it had to be flawless. Every time he got close to finishing, he'd scrape songs and restart. Also, leaks kept killing the hype. Some Detox tracks actually leaked. Remember Kush featuring Snoop Dogg and Akon? That was supposed to be on Detox, but when it leaked, Dre lost interest. And of course, the music is always changing. Detox started in an era when gangsta rap was huge. By 2010, hip-hop was shifting towards trap, auto-tune, and new styles. Dre didn't want to sound outdated, so he kept updating the album over and over again. Eventually, in 2015, Dre officially killed Detox and released Compton instead. But here's the thing, Detox still exists, somewhere in some hard drive in Dre's studio. The original sessions are just sitting there, waiting. The question is, will we ever hear them? Now, While Detox is the most famous lost project, there are tons of other unreleased Dre tracks that have either leaked or have been confirmed by insiders. Let's break down some of the most legendary ones. So number 1, Topless, featuring Nas and T.I. This track leaked in 2009 and was supposed to be on Detox. Nas spits an iconic verse and T.I. actually raps from Dre's perspective. The beat, classic Dre, crisp drums, deep bass, and orchestra vibes. Number 2, Turn Me On, featuring Kendrick Lamar. Recorded during Compton sessions, but never officially released. Some say Dre wanted it for Detox before shelving it. Number 3, OG's Theme, featuring Snoop Dogg. This was rumored to be part of a 2001 sequel. West Coast vibes on another level. Number 4, the 50 Cent and Eminem sessions. 50 Cent has confirmed that he and Dre recorded entire songs that never came out. Eminem also hinted at unreleased Dre beats that he still owned, and he still has. So if all these songs exist, what's stopping Dre from releasing them? Alright, so here's the real question. What's left? Well, there are rumors of an entire unreleased album with Eminem, a vault of Snoop Dogg collabs from the 2000s, a potential sequel to 2001, and more Kendrick Lamar songs from the Compton era. And the wildest part, we might never hear them. Dre is a perfectionist, and unless he thinks a song is timeless, it stays in the vault. But can you imagine if he just said, screw it, here's everything? That would break the internet. So what do you think? Should Dr. Dre just go ahead and release all songs that he's ever made? You tell me. Tell me down in the comments. Let's talk about it. Here's some Dr. Dre fun facts. Did you know that Dr. Dre started in an electro-funk group called World Class Wrecking Crew? Dre also was originally skeptical about signing Eminem because he was white. But after hearing him freestyle, he changed his mind instantly. Dr. Dre has sold over 100 million albums, but his real fortune came from selling beats by Dre to Apple for $3 billion. Dre's son, Curtis Young, is also a rapper and has been trying to make a name for himself in the industry. And finally, Dr. Dre once went 16 years without releasing a solo album, but in that time, he produced some of the biggest hits in rap history. Here's your music history for March 15th, and before I get into that, make sure you go follow us on Facebook at MelodiMedia so you can get daily music history, facts, and an undercover album of a song or the album. Make sure you go follow us there. Follow us on YouTube at Melodi-Media. That's Melody with an I, not a Y. Alright, March 15th, 1968, Johnny Cash married June Carter, one of country music's most famous couples. 1972, James Brown performed at the White House for President Nixon. 2004, Usher released Confessions, which went on to sell over 10 million copies. And finally, 2019, Lil Nas X dropped Old Town Road, changing the rap and country game forever. How many songs did he, remixes did he release on that? I think it was 5 or 6. I don't really remember, but there were some good ones. For more music history, make sure you go follow us on Facebook. Check us out on YouTube at Melodi-Media. Make sure to check out some of our other music content we have out now. Search for Mr. Melody. Here's a little clip of our most listened to song.
Take my breath away. She don't care about what they say. She just vibe her own damn way. Got that magic, got that spark, lighting up the whole damn dark. She got that higgity hoggity hoo-ha, hoo-ha. Make you wanna jump, make you wanna shout. Higgity hoggity hoo-ha, hoo-ha. Ain't nobody do it like she do. Nah, nah.
That's gonna do it for today's episode. If you enjoyed this podcast, make sure you hit that subscribe button so I can keep doing what I love. Until the next episode, peace.